All doing? I hope you're all doing very well today or this evening, depending on where you are. Hello to Rumble. Hello to Twitter. Hello to YouTube family. It's not going to be a lot of people here today. We have a plus 30-minute video. If you're here and you don't want to have to sit through, I don't want to force any of you to be here when you don't want to be here, but I bring you the UFO up to date news, exactly what's going on. Now, there's a lot of stuff I didn't even write in the title. We have that UFO that Ross Coulthart was talking about, massive UFO that's hidden under a building. We know where it is, possibly if it's that one. And if not, we have ourselves another one. We're going to be talking about that and go through that. We're going to go see Angel talking about his upside down crosses and whatnot. We're going to just listen to that, take it with a grain of salt, whether you believe or not. I don't think the upside down cross has anything to do with the alien that came to his door, but maybe it is. I'm not denying that it's something evil. There's a priest that went to his house. Priests are evil, and said, maybe not all of them, but most of the ones I met are, because the priest is the first person to know that he's not telling the truth, for Pete's sakes. Okay? For Pete's sakes. That Pete that I'm talking about. Not the pumpkin eater. Hey, Pete. He's definitely here. Hey, Darla Lama's in the house. Susan Ravella, how are you doing this afternoon? I hope Rocky's fine too on this weird day. If you're in Quebec, you feel the cool air. Not that it's cold. You feel the cool air, the humidity in the air. The clouds are excessively puffy and low, and they're traveling fast. Be watching the United States this week for the tornadoes and hurricanes that are going to be off the wall, with the sun pushing the tornadoes even more. And then we're not going to talk about CERN. We're not going to talk about cloud seeding. Already in mainstream news, they say we're living in times of revelations. Y'all, we're going to know everything. It's all going to come out. No one's going to be happy. No one's going to be able to complain because the system's going to be down anyways. Once people aren't worried about losing money, well, then it doesn't matter for the truth to come out. And we're going to be seeing a lot of truth coming out. I feel it. Sabinator, Boomakalamri. How are you doing, brother? Love you, man. Thank you so much for being here. Dave Synth is here. Thanks, you guys. Mr. Hauser, how's it going, man? Nice to see you all. Keeping well, buddy. Thank you very much. Right. So, coffee and crickets. Not for me. No crickets for me. What a silly question, Susan. Do you think anyone's actually having a good time in their lives? The world is almost that depressing, right? But in reality, the reason why everything's looking like we're just being completely destroyed, and we're not, is because we are winning. So that, all these changes that they're doing is their last resort. We still got the money. The money's still up. Use liquid money, by the way. Support your local farmers and your local everything. That's what we have to start doing. Karen Fitzpatrick, how are you doing? Wednesday happy hour. Woohoo. Yep, I got a good video for you all too at the same time. A long video talking about a lot. Stephen Greer on Vlad TV talking about something, talking about, you'll see, a whole bunch of stuff. Stephanie Black. Comment ça va? Merci Stéphanie. Stéphanie et la famille, j'espère que vous allez tous bien. Merci beaucoup Stéphanie. Flubber Lane, thanks for coming back, my friends. Hello. Always important. Thank you, Karen Fitzpatrick. Nice to see you. Anna, the Knots, how are you doing? Thank you very much. Riley. Right on, guys. Rod R is here. Xander Mavro, thanks for coming back. As always, man. Thanks those of you for being members. And if you're here, it's a beautiful contribution to the channel. So we're getting attacks on the channel. Do you guys know that I have over 100,000 subscribers, but my community post has not had anyone for a week? I don't believe that happens. But the funny part is that when I mention it, the trolls think it's because I'm sad. And even if I was, it's none of your business. Be honest with you. I'm allowed being emotional if I want. You'd love that. Wouldn't you love that? You can keep the subscribers, but you guys can't get UFOs, which makes me laugh totally. I left out the Walson part of the video. It was 40 minutes. I said, no, not worth it. Not worth exposing the ones that are actually causing the problems here online. I've all shown that before in the past, but No more subscribers on this channel. We lost 87 subscribers this month, but that's still a little lame. If you were a real hacker, I would expect 400, but it doesn't matter. Nonetheless, I appreciate the little honor. I got a bunch of toddlers here attacking the channels, subscribing 20, unsubscribing 20. But the problem is that illegally the revenue is being stolen by agents or by YouTube that's actually diverting traffic to a lot of your channels, to whistleblower channels. I'm a whistleblower and I have information and videos that prove something on the moon that is very dangerous when it comes to national security. That's what I was told. And that's pretty obvious, I think. So that's why the information is not flooding the news. David Grush, it's all being suppressed. David Grush, Luis Elizondo. Nobody knows the whole story about anyone, about everyone or anyone. That's exactly what's going on. If they're blocking my channel, even the music channel, which makes me laugh. Hey guys, Astronomia of Nice, mi canal de investigación. I have a Spanish-speaking channel. I'm posting videos there, and I'm going to start posting daily videos. The thousands of shorts and videos that I posted on Bruce Cizal will all be transferred into the language of Spanish. I'm trying to grow the channel. These channels stay dead, guys, for a long time. I've been here. It's going to be almost 8 years completed, and we're not a lot of people here. So I left the last post in the community. None of you go and see. I think there's only 3 of you. But when you do go on my channel, go into the community and you will see that the last post a week ago had 102 likes and it hasn't moved. And I also told, I wrote in the thing that we're at 103,000. So I was at 103,997. So what they do is they hold it back, which is okay, but it makes me laugh. So they rolled it down about 87 because now they can't see my subscribers anymore, right? Well, the hackers can, but it's really, really funny. So if you want to discourage the trolls and help a whistleblower, if you do think that I'm a whistleblower, that I'm actually credible, my work is, I'd appreciate you subscribing. The algorithm is evil on YouTube. If you don't subscribe to a channel, the channel doesn't get out to others. But there's no need to subscribe to my channel. And when the subscribers go down to 0 and the views stop, I'll still be here posting. I promise. That is a promise that I have made to my community. Danny, how's it going, man? It's a podcast of a scientist possible finding life on a planet. Man, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. There's Jason Sands, David, and a couple of people were mentioning it to me. Leah was one of the first to mention it to me after a couple of days that I had done my own research. He had killed a blue alien. He interacted with an alien. So, and don't forget the 50 plus whistleblowers that are waiting that Ross Coulthard interviewed from News Nation that are also supposed to come out. So there's lots happening. It's all going to come out. But people think, oh, no, it's not going to come out. Government's going to let it out. Oh, yeah, the government is going to let it all out. Everything. They're done. Government's done. The CIA is being dismantled. We'll be in free energy in no time. I hope people are waking up to the evolution of what's going to happen because it's going to happen in one friggin' day. Boom. They're already setting things up past 20, 30 years, and then everything is going to stop at one point. Now the coal plants in the States, closing them all down. That's going to affect the grid. I've been having my electricity here yesterday. Complete electricity went out 3 times yesterday. Listen, there's no wind here. There's nothing happening. But with the tornadoes and hurricanes in the States and the electricity, the grid is sensitive. I can see it here with my phone lines. I have problems with the phone lines. I have problems with speaking of phone lines, someone's supposed to call me this evening. Hope he calls me only after 6, so that way we'll be able to get through the video. And if not, like I said, I'll take a minute or 2 to talk to him. It really won't be long. It won't never be 2 minutes. Who else is here in the house? Yo, 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 yep, yep, yo. Bill Weedman. Howdy, all. Thank you very much. My God, yeah. Canadistan is making fools of themselves worldwide. They really are a Sabinator. We're out of the bag, I guess. The idiot Canadians running the country are out of the bag. We have Pierre Poilievre, a conservative leader, opposition leader of Trudeau, was kicked out of the House of Commons. The Speaker in the House of Commons, he's got to get fired. Bye-bye. I think he's a plant, diversion plant. And you know what color they are. Nothing against black people, but I think people are waking up to what they did by grabbing trans and black people and putting them in certain areas, like the judges in the states that have no competency. Hire someone for the competency, right? And it's too bad because I heard a lot of black people saying that it made them mad. Obviously, like, what the hell are you doing? And making them look bad. Why? Whites and blacks don't fight in person. They only fight online, right? You listen to online, it sounds like everyone's hating on each other, but that's their goal. Stand up with other cultures and stuff like that, except for the stupid Hamas that are protesting. I'm not even going to get into that because they're going to jail me. But you guys are a little silly. Standing up in front of schools, intimidating Jews. It's only a matter of time till they mass deport the whole shitload of you. And I can't wait. I'm going to be making videos of it, smiling and laughing. Government's screwing over the immigrants coming in, by the way. They don't know that yet, but they're going to find out soon, too. So stupid. Is it snowing by you, Bruce? Oh, shit, no. Not at all. I haven't had snow here in months. But, they're announcing 40 centimeters, Dave, for Quebec. But it's going to be more on the north side. Some cool air is supposed to come around from us from the States, a vortex. But if you look on the map, I'm so lucky. It goes up over from Ontario and Ottawa, and it goes to Montreal, and it bends around me. I was looking at the ley lines in Quebec, in Montreal, Valleyfield, and the lines, all the magnetic lines and everything, where there's apparently some phenomena occurring. Do you know that the largest UFO on Skinwalker Ranch is a video just like mine that I caught, and it's a very, very tiny, small UFO. It's getting billions of people interested in these episodes and whatnot. And in reality, I'm not making episodes. I'm making real videos, and people don't go to that. But the ones that are, making shows and episodes are getting more attention. It's funny. The truth isn't with those people, I assure you guys. That is for sure. It's hard to find out who's telling the truth, that's for sure. Another thing. Scientists, I'm not even talking about me, just in general. Scientists may have found life on K2. Yeah, a while back I was hearing about that. 18th planet. Have you seen the news? A while back, actually. And K2, also water and everything that they say is there. It's is that the one that's the super world, if I'm not mistaken, the super Earth that's bigger than Earth? So, I mean, it's only a matter of time, honestly, till they go there. I think that's pretty obvious. D Dutch, howdy, sir. Greetings from Naruawahia in New Zealand. Naruawahia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I know. Thank you very much, D Dutch. Thank you. I have Evelyn Saba. She's in New Zealand. I have a couple people here from New Zealand. Thank you very much, my friends. Merci encore, Stéphanie. C'est hâte d'aller au camping, la gang. Maudit que j'ai hâte. Ah, Colin. Thank you very much, Leah, for being at Rumble. Tony, muchas gracias, amigo. Hola, Bruce. How are you today, bud? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you very much for asking, man. We got a good video. I'm going to be showing live the South Pole, all the water that's on the surface of the moon. I'm going to turn the moon upside down for you. We're going to look at the effects of foreshortening, a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to look at. A spaceship-like object on the moon, whole bunch of news, military news. The reason why I go to the news is that if you're not following military news, which not many do, I mean, I don't follow it every day, but what's happening is the Space Force and everything, they're all developing these secret communication constellations, and they're going to have the secret satellite systems and whatnot. So all this is being done, ballistic missiles and to detect hypersonic vehicles and whatnot. That they say vehicle, they don't say vehicles, they say missiles. But in reality, the South Pole base, they're doing quantum communication, and I'm pretty sure teleportation. Scary stuff that's happening. I'm telling you guys, and people thought that people were going to flip out because they said they're aliens. We found out they're depopping Earth and trying to kill us all. We're still going about our business and laughing at the elites. So I don't think people are not ready to find out that there's aliens out there. And for those of you that still don't believe in aliens, that's been confirmed, I think, several times. More power to you, Bruce. Thank you, Bill. Mr. Kai, how's it going, brother? Can't stay, going for dinner with Tony. Right on, man. Early for old folk. Enjoy, man. Love you, bro. Thanks, man. Yeah, local herbalist farmers for sure. Exactly, man. Got to support them in every way. 100%. Robert, thanks, man. Is Star Hunter here? Thanks, Star. As always. Oh, yeah. Those, I'm telling you, Sabinator, even Australia, New Zealand, especially, those are all places. Boy, I would love to visit. Boy, I tell you, definitely on my bucket list. Enoch Q4, howdy, Bruce and chat. Thank you very much. Thanks for leaving a comment, my friends. Thanks for joining in. What up, Dennis? Got a good video coming up, my friends. A day to you too, Donovan. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Crazy Music Space Jam, thank you very much for being here. Thanks for everything, you guys. Guys, I need some tips. I went to the doctor's yesterday, and apparently I lost 3 kilograms, but I eat a lot and healthy. But with fast metabolism, I don't know what to do. Even if I exercise, nothing works. I would suggest, man, not even to exercise. It's going to be harder, what I tell you, suggest you to do, but it's um, faster outcome, and you're going to see the stats rise up really, really quick. You know, lose a lot of weight. I was 300 to 310 pounds, and I lost in just about 4 months 115 pounds. I've been able to maintain it off the whole time. I'm even back to eating a bit more now. I started fasting, man. Now, a lot of people say, well, no, 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 none of this fasting or something. You don't have to, you can eat every day. But for example, if you eat 2, 3 meals a day, start eating 1 meal a day, you know, wait till the end of the day. You want to eat a big meal. You want to eat 2 plates, not a problem. Do so, but control yourself that way. Another thing, Riley, you're probably not going to believe that that works. Just stopping potatoes, rice, and pasta. That's all I ate. Potatoes, rice, and pasta. Now I eat everything that goes with it, the meats and everything else. Well, it's nothing else. It's just meats. So you can call it carnivore or not. You know, I eat salads and meat. That's all that I'm eating. But the first time I lost 100 pounds, man, was not by stopping or changing my diet at all. But you might not have the time to walk an hour or two a day. Even an hour, even half an hour is good. Even 15. They say if you walk 4 times, 15 minutes, not everybody has the time to do so. But I'm telling you, if you walk an hour a day and you get home, I don't care what you're going to eat, you're not going to keep the weight on. It's literally going to leave. If you're already a guy that walks an hour a day and you say, I'm already walking an hour a day, walk 2 hours a day or walk faster. It really shows. You know, if you're in the winter, walk outside in the winter, you burn twice as much calories. Me with the fasting, I lost 150 pounds right away. I stopped eating sweets. I stopped drinking soft drinks. That was years ago. Years ago. No sugar. I do not eat any sugar anymore, aside from the cheats, which you can always cheat. But I'm telling you, in only 2 weeks, you'll be down 10, 15 pounds. I'm telling you. And Riley, it depends on your weight, you know. But if you're 190 plus or 200 pounds, even better if you're 250, you're going to be losing a lot of weight. So the 10 pounds I told you you'd lose in 2 weeks, you're going to say that's crazy. Of course, it's crazy if you're 190, but if you're 300 pounds, you'll be losing 20, 30 pounds a week, my friend. The first week, you lose water weight, you lose everything. I did that, man, and I lost a lot of weight. But the craving for 3 to 7 days was unbearable and probably comparable to someone trying to stop smoking weed or stop smoking cigarettes. They say cigarettes is worse. You know, that 7 to 11 days, just drinking water all the time. You know, what the fuck do you want? You're in a bad mood. I can't close the books. I can't open this. I can't tie my zipper. Everything, I got to go for a piss. Everything gets you mad. But if you control that, and I was controlling myself that way, I was testing myself. I felt almost like being sick at one point, and I said, "No, I don't give a shit, Bruce. I don't care if you cry, if you make me bad mood all day. I'm not going to eat, but you're going to actually beat your stomach. It's the brain, eh? The brain's telling you got to eat. You're used to eating. No, you don't have to eat. You don't have to eat every day. Humans don't have to eat every day. That's simple. And I'll be honest with you, Riley. When I was eating every day, that's when I felt bad. When you don't eat every day, you feel a lot better. I'm only 24 hours now into the fasting, but I feel great at the end of 24 hours, maybe about 30 hours now that I haven't eaten. And I love doing so. And I'll do that 3 times at least a week. There's at least 3 days, complete days in the week where I do not, 72 hours, I do not eat whatsoever. If you ate a bit more during the week. And anyways, good luck. Maybe he's already saying, shut up, Bruce, you're wasting your breath. But just trying to help. William, the rambling 333. The beings that control this planned net control almost everything we see. You're right about that. And I agree with it. It is a complete control. So I guess so they've always controlled the elites, everything. It's just that they had limited control, I guess, because there's a lot of people that were trying to stop them. Imagine, guys, imagine how many hundreds of thousands of people over the years have been trying to stop the elites from getting in. Now they infiltrated everything, pharmaceuticals, everything. And now the truth about the vaccines and everything is coming out. I hope you are looking in the news, guys. They're going to have to compensate a lot of people, not me. The women will be all over me in a couple of years. Virgin blood. Polly, how are you? Just had to resubscribe again. Thank you for doing so. That's a big problem here. And again, aside from hackers, that's definitely a glitch here. It's just a matter of everyone checking their subscriptions on every channel every time they tune in. Easy peasy. Polly, I love you for it. And I appreciate that because honestly, probably, I don't get any subs. See, we're down 8 subs now during the stream, but trolls are under my control. They work for me. They have to be here every day to see what Bruce says. Oh, Bruce said that the sun's going to cause a CME. What a liar. The next day, big explosion the next day. It's so funny. Thumbs. Thank you. Dave Synth, I appreciate that. Bruce's music channel, guys. I'm going to get some videos up. If you're like me, Dave, I like I like looking at somebody play. I play by ear, but I like seeing somebody where they're playing the notes and just pausing it myself and trying to recreate the notes. But I'm going to be getting some music lessons up, guys, on Bruce's music channel. Check out my Spanish channel. Please subscribe to that channel today. It'd be awesome. I got about 10 subscribers today, Leah. I was very happy on the Spanish channel. I got 2, 3, 4 videos up on the Spanish channel. I'll be getting a lot up this summer too. So those of you that speak, I gotta get a Greek channel up too. Xander, no wonder I missed the beginning. The 2 last lives, I just checked. All your notifications were turned up. Yep, that's how it is, man. They do that. It's actually the ones that come and turn the notifications on that get them taken off, which is so stupid. Greatly appreciated, man. Collagen supplements, slow metabolism, increase muscle mass. Maybe that would be something to try. Thank you, Susan. YouTube is soft censoring many channels. Yes, Darla, absolutely. Please verify that you are still subbed to us. I would appreciate that if you did that. And that way we'll get some subscribers because it's fake subscribers that we have here, guys. There's only a handful, hundreds that are here. So what they do is they have 5,000 subscribers, let's say, all ahead. And when somebody subscribes, well, they just keep rolling it back. They just keep maintaining the channel, but they're not doing any harm. They're not doing any harm. They're working for me. That sucks, guys, but I appreciate those of you letting me know. Thank you. Give it a try. Right on, Riley. Thanks, buddy. There's my music channel, my friends, if you guys want to head on over. They're waiting and extending the timeline to wake people up. It's the lifetime of 10,000 lives. Yes. And can you feel that there's something on pause? Exactly. I totally hear you on that one. Man, I thought the derp top off came and took you. No, I'm always here. Edo, right on. E. Zandervan, thank you very much for being here. Yes. Yep. That's what we're living in. That's right, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter. At least all the Americans stayed there. They kept their wits. They held their cool. Now there's a limit though. But yeah, good times are coming. Change the president. Another 4 years. Yeah. F you. Biden's out. He's leaving. He is out of here. Azur Nativ. Merci beaucoup. Hello, thing. Herr Godfrey. So pathetic. I can't believe. Uh, don't feel so bad, US. I got Trudeau that's actually of age not to have dementia and should be able to physically speak out, but he can't. Ramon, thank you very much for being here. Just about to jump in that video, everyone. Thanks to the 152 listening in. That's the saviors on the X platform. Always stopping in to check the channel. X platform, the first 7 weeks, we got 5,000 subscribers almost, or is it 4,000? I don't remember anymore. 4,600. No more subscribers. Follow me on X Twitter, X platform. If you just arrived, if you want to encourage me, or come on over to the Rumble to encourage me. Also another place where I'm hated. Okay, guys, you got to start a channel and become a whistleblower. And if you're like me, maybe it's because I like attention. I do not mind the hate. I don't believe that somebody should be offended by someone hating them. It's not because you're doing something wrong, right? If you're offended by someone hating you, maybe it's because you think yourself you're doing something wrong. That's the way I look at it. So, hey, Holland, another place on my bucket list for sure. Beautiful Holland. Alberta, Ontario had major snowstorm. Alberta, that's crazy, Darla. I think in the bottom of Quebec, we're supposed to get 40 centimeters. Not us. Not us. Thank God. Same, Riley. Here too, we were supposed to get a big one. No, I don't know about Anika. I hope she's doing okay. Anika, I have not heard from her at all. I hope there's nothing wrong. And like I said, it's normal. She could be gone for a couple of days, but she's always so present, eh? Hey, I hear ya. Damn, Florida. You know, hey, man, Dave Synth, they're looking back. Beautiful Florida. I love Floridians. Best place in the States, I guess. I should be careful. I have a lot of American friends, but place that I heard. But anyways, in Florida, they're looking at the earthquakes and tornadoes that used to happen hundreds of years ago. See, the problem is the documentation that they have for tornadoes worldwide and especially in the States is 1951. We have no records before that of tornadoes. But now they're looking back. They were talking about that in the news this week, and they said there was a lot more Category 5 tornadoes and hurricanes back hundreds of years ago in that very area of Florida. I think the Panhandle that they call. Check your bell. All will still be blacked out, but YouTube will put a tiny little tick on personal. Just re-click all and move the tick back. Thank you, sir. At least that's what they do to me. Yeah, we each have little glitches, things that happen to us, eh? Oh, wow, Anna. Thanks for sharing that. Some of us are born in energetic places, boy. Thank you, Swervin Daily. Appreciate that. Ken Ash, thanks again, man. Bruce, did you see the Joe Rogan podcast with Bart Siebel yet? I did not, bro. Did you ask me that before? It was mostly boring, but Siebel, oh, I did see that, I think. Always says the same thing. I think I did, but I'm going to go double check later because could it be that you mentioned that the last stream, or maybe I'm hallucinating? I know a lot of you sometimes tell me to go see something and okay, that pen doesn't work. I just told Chrissy the pen worked. It doesn't work anymore. Okay, it's wax paper. Okay, I get it. What was I supposed to write down? Okay, Joe Rogan, Bart Siegel. Siebel. Bart Siebel. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. 169 in the house. Gonna scroll the way down now. I gotta. Lagerta. Allô à toi, merci. Go Canucks. Hey, right on, Canucks. Oh yeah, guys. I hope you liked that I wrote the Moon Man. Chicka, chicka. I'm so bad. Rusty, thanks, man. Scabby, cherries are blossom. Thank you very much. Speaking of blossoming, I have my beautiful plum tree that's blossoming, and I replanted 3 more trees last year, and they are all growing. They're all growing. I'm going to have 5 to 6 big ass plum trees in the back, and each tree is going to give me about 20, 30 pounds the first year. So, well, the first year that it gets big, now they're a little small. But anyways, it was that last year it was like this, and this year it's like this, and next year it'll be really big. Plum trees, guys, amazing, healthy, low fat. Yeah, cherry plums. Carole Pelletier, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, Halifax. Right on. Nova Scotia in the house. We're going to watch a video. On va regarder un vidéo ensemble. Thank you, Carol. Thanks, Leah, for being on Rumble. Love this channel. Rusty, I appreciate that, my friend. Thanks, guys. Famous Potato is here. Yeah, tapeworms. That's what they say. You got to swallow one, then it goes in easy. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, me too. I'm not saying it's that, but there was some stuff, tu sais, les protestes là, qui est arrivé dans son bout. Là, j'espère que ça n'a pas rapport avec ça, en tout cas. Anyways. Oh, you're talking about you're losing weight. You don't want to lose weight, you mean? Is that it? And I'm telling you to fast? My friend, if ever you want to learn how to gain weight, I can get you fat in 7 days. I promise. It's easy. It's easy for me. I'm the fat king. I can regain 50 pounds before next week's stream and be so bloated that I scare the shit out of every one of you. I would have been good to do that for movies. Gain 20, 30 pounds, lose 20, 30 pounds. Not good to gain and lose, but I kept my big heart. When you're 300 pounds, your heart grows, by the way, the bigger you are. When you lose your weight, your heart stays big. So I have a heart that I could pump for 2 people. Big ass heart for a little bit of blood going around. So, Al, muchas gracias, bro. Hey, man, also on Astronomie of Nice, mi canal Investigación Español, I put up a couple of videos. If ever some of you go around there. Wow, man, you beat me on that one, boy. Cost me half my money. She gone. Oh, yeah, that's the guaranteed weight loss, but it cost everything. I hear on that one, man. Sorry to hear about that, though, bro. We learn our lessons. That's because we want to be good to people, my friend. Richard Crooks, thanks, man. Yeah, let's see if she's doing okay. I hope she is. Dom Goddess, thank you for being here. Hi, all. I just saw a Forbes article on Earth's second moon. Dom Goddess, do you think that's something that is real enough that they're going to talk about and bring that truth out, that there's more than one moon? Guys, Nelson Administrator. Okay, wrap your mind around this. Nelson Administrator says the moon doesn't revolve. Even went like this. The moon doesn't revolve. I almost fainted because I get a lot of people that come here and tell me, Bruce, the moon doesn't revolve, right? Well, of course it revolves. Well, the facts online say that it revolves. It takes 27.3 days. Have you ever heard of a nuclear clock? We've had to adjust that back and forth, and we're going to have to do another readjustment. Near 2000, we did so. We should have to do it again. Tilt and axis is always a little change as we progress through so many years. So you can imagine all the changes we've had over the many hundreds or thousands of years, where we're definitely not a Wednesday right now at 5:30. We could be a Tuesday at midnight, for all we know. But daylight saving time, that's another thing I wish they would stop doing. Right on, Alex. I'm just scrolling all the way down here to start the video. Before starting the video, I'm seeing orbs at night turning on a dime. What they are, we're gonna find out, my friends. I'm telling you. Oh, right on, Ken Ash. Yeah, I would believe that, Dave. I would be afraid of that. Hey, salut Yann et Rookie. Yann vient de finir en direct. Just did a live stream with my brother Jason. Jason John Swartz channel. Y'all are scaring me with the tapeworms. I've never had them. I know. I hear you with it. I don't believe you have it. I'll tell you what, Riley. I'll tell you what. If you want to not worry about the tapeworms, have yourself some garlic. Have yourself some garlic. They don't like garlic. They do not like garlic. No, don't worry about that bullshit. It's not going to happen. Don't sleep beside a tub of water, but in reality, I wouldn't be worried about tapeworms. I would say everyone on this friggin' planet's got worms entirely inside of them because of what we eat. Pretty sure. And thank you for being here. You guys ready to watch a video? No problemo. I'm down to help out, brother. Right on, man. Research Dr. Anna Mahalcia. Even Unjade have, yep, oh, of course. Yep. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Rumble. Welcome. Right on. It's true. You're right. So far, so busy. Week 2.5 additional job. Right on, LA. Danny says, hey, Bruce, I finally got to see Alive. I've been so, oh, yeah, roofing season is started. But since 2 days, it's snowing in Edmonton. Happy to see you. Danny, the little breaks, bro. Yeah, so you're a hard worker then. Wow. Roofing. Well, I guess you're going to get a couple of days off. Expect a lot of rain this summer. Prevent ahead. Thanks, man, for being here, bro. Thanks for commenting also, man. Thanks for the interest. Just subscribe for the 5th time. And you tell me a lot, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Dom, Goddess, thank you very much, you guys. All rock. Thank you for all the help that you give this channel. Last water, I call it my mud juice. Right on. Been sub for years. Sab's Workshop. Sab, how you doing, brother? Never had any problems, to be fair, with the sub. The trolls, however, have caused me to stop talking and being part of this wonderful group. It's serious, too. I really appreciate you letting me know that, man. I'm not too okay about that. If ever, like I said, I know it's causing problems. You got family, too, and everything, man. But if ever you want to expose who is doing so, you can do so here. You can speak freely about it. Man, I love you, bro. I never had any problems with you. You know, you're always welcome here. I have a lot of people that were ripped from me here. Anika, a couple of weeks before she disappeared a couple of days ago. I hope she's okay, but I think I could be wrong, but there were some people also, I think, attacking her somewhat. I could be wrong. Not okay about it. If ever you want to talk about that, Sab's Workshop, I'm not okay at all with that. Man, I got the gift on the wall. You sent me a beautiful gift that you made yourself with a letter. You've always come to the channel. I love you to pieces, man. I got absolutely nothing against you. Yeah, I thought of that, man. Keep me posted, though, Sab's Workshop, about that, because that's sort of not okay. If it's Lisa Eckerly, if it's Peter Benton, if it's Miss Heard, I would really like to know. It could be maybe Cindy Luhu channel. See, these channels, guys, they try to absolutely destroy the channel. It could be Penny Bunny also. These are all people that are always in the works in the background. And there's a lot of other channels, right, that are doing so. But do let me know. You're always welcome here, man. I intend on you coming every time. As a matter of fact, that would piss off the trolls a little bit more because there's nothing they can do to the trolls. They'll never be able to repost the research that I do, and that's why they're mad. So it's like every day they bite into a chew toy, a dog toy. They get mad. I like it. I'm a pain in their side every morning. When is the drone happening, Bruce? When I find one for sale, infrared drone, and I got about $1,350 raised there. So we're doing good. We are doing good. I've been doing a lot of work on that too. And obviously, the nice time is coming, and I'm going to want to jump on it. And if ever we can get it, I like talking ahead of time to get people. Oh, the troll! I see she's not getting it now. The fucker. No, I'm getting it. And if ever I would not be able to get it because I can't find it, we're gonna get something else. So don't worry about it. Yep, there's a lot going on, I think. Some people in this community have been attacked greatly, unfortunately. Leah, I love you for it. Thank you so much, guys. Check out my music channel, guys. I'm trying to grow it. I'm close to 1,000 subscribers. Got to help me reach there because I want to raise some funds um, for the research. For the research. That's why they really hated me, because all my money that I'm going to get is going into the research. It always has for like almost 8 years now. And they want the channel down, but it's not going to happen. It really is not going to happen. ODNT Alex. Welcome, Journey of Life. Oh, yes. Thanks again, Ann. Scrolling down here, guys. 532. I'm getting there. Milan Dimitrov, thank you very much. Hope you're okay. Greetings to all. I am. I'm doing good, Milan. Thank you very much, my friend. Right, Leah. Leah, sorry. LA. Oh, my brain there. Saw the Howard Stern interview with Brandon. Oh my gosh. I saw part of it, Radar. It made me cringe. And I'll tell you what, Howard Stern that brags about him having 8 shots there makes me laugh. He's worried about other things happening. So I suggest to him to take 8 more. 2025. That's the year, guys. Guaranteed. Won't see him after that. You guys ever see the handicap show? Show with the black people, the handicapped people, the children on the show, calling the black people by the N-word, laughing at the handicaps by calling him Mr. Retard and all that. The show, it's a game show that is on YouTube. It's got hundreds of thousands of views. I tried to get that video taken down, and it's despicable. Howard Stern made me sick when I found out that video. I don't discriminate against anyone. I'm open-minded people that talk, about anyone, but you don't discriminate color or religion and stuff like that, right? That's what I say. Hey, William Shuttles. Yesterday I was thinking of you, brother. That's maybe why your ears were buzzing. Was it you or somebody else? A couple of you often tell me, well, are your ears buzzing these days? Yesterday, all afternoon, problems with my ears, the left ear buzzing all afternoon, and I haven't had it for a couple of days. Bruce, I don't speak French, but when you speak it, sounds effing cool. Hey, Ken, it's true, man. It's fun speaking other languages, but it's fun listening to languages that you've never heard of before. That's like my Spanish channel, man. Check it out. Astronomia of Nice. I talk Spanish on the videos, and I, not any accent or anything. So I'm working my ass off to be able to make those videos. It's taking me a long time though. So we got a long video. Plum trees, nice. I love. Oh yeah, Leah. Plum trees are gorgeous. I have some amazing images. I don't know if I think you did see them last summer, but I'll get some up. Some images of the plum tree, the beautiful flowers, and the smell of the plum trees, guys. It's absolutely incredible. It's a woman's perfume. It is the best smelling fruit tree I've ever smelt in my life. Hoping to successfully be first to successfully sue Amazon 3 million. I can't wait. It's going to cost them 6 million. Basically. Yes. When you lose the weight, you keep the big organs. Thank you, Susan. You rock. Moon is definitely a mystery, my friends. Let's get into the video. Let's go see what Nelson said. He's going to talk about the Southlander that lie on its side. Guys, you're not going to believe me. When Bill Nelson talks and the older guy talks, it's on fast forward, like 20%. Watch how slow they're talking, and I'm fast forwarding it. You're not going to believe me. He was talking so slow, the old guy, poor guy. Jules, not with us tonight. Thank you very much, Leah. Milan, thank you. Starting to believe the dollar vigilante is right, and we are living in the matrix. I saw a little bit of his. Talks about silver too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man, we are living in the Matrix. I believe that 100% in the Matrix. Everything's fixed. Remember when 9/11 happened and the jets didn't know what to do to scramble? Is this real time? What the hell's going on? You know, boom, Pentagon gets hit. Boom, first trade. Boom, second trade. What's going on? What's going on? We're not prepared for nothing, honey, for sure. Nothing, honey. Journey of Life, black walnut oil. Ooh, never heard of that. There she is. There she is. Miss Oregon. Have you seen the videos with bears and tapeworms? Oh, okay, you're flipping me out, guys. Yeah, Rodar, same, man. What happened to Comet Ponds, Brooks? It's on its way. It's supposed to be seen in the first couple of days of May as it approaches Earth. And, they're still not talking about it. It's supposed to be seen in the western sky, low in the horizon. And I haven't seen it. I honestly haven't seen it. Bruce, I will teach you Serbian. Oh, thank you. And German. Well, Milan, I am German, but a German Maki. Yeah, I have German blood. My name is Bruce Schwartz. Schwarze, black. And jawohl, I love learning languages. You got to teach me the proper German. And Serbian, I'd be more than happy. Teach me 2-3 words every time. As a matter of fact, if I get enough Serbian people here, I'll make Serbian videos. I made a Russian video, then they started blocking me. Do you know that my first Russian video here was during the week of the Ukraine war? And by coincidence, I go on, and I come on and I start talking Russian, and people are like, what the fuck? I love doing that. It's so funny. Hey, right on, Claude Yael. Ben, merci beaucoup. C'est beau comme nom. Merci, Claude. Whoops, what happened here? We're jammed. I learned that from the vet. Oh, wow, a flea. So, guys, don't get too friendly with your dogs. Don't get that thought out of my head. Right on. That's not called load. Let's get into that video, everyone. Right on. Present. Share the screen to my amazing community that's here listening. Thanks for listening in, everyone. Entire screen. We'll share the screen here. And I'll put my big head down here. And then I'll put this down. I'll get the video up here. There's a couple times you're going to see it's different videos on different channels. So you guys know sometimes the video can be up and down. I hope I'm not blasting anyone's ears here when I talk loud on the video.
That just about a year ago,
take it with a grain of salt. This is Angel in Las Vegas, where the Kenmore family, they were threatened and whatnot. So we're just going to hear him talking about something. I think this is sort of a news sort of thing to try to make a story about it. I'm not saying it's fake, but I don't know. I think it's cringy. It doesn't have a lot to do with, I don't even know why I would say it's cringy. I just don't, they don't want to show us the alien video, and they won't, of the Kenmores, but they're going to turn around and say that priests said there's fallen angels in their house, by the way. Listen up, guys. Thanks, everyone.
We saw these mysterious, unidentifiable creatures in their backyard right here behind me, right? They said that they were 10-foot tall creatures, that they were standing there looking at them. They could see them breathing. Angel says that he was actually growling at him, freaking them out so much that they actually called 911. Well, it turns out that these unidentified, unexplainable phenomenon didn't just stop at that night. Angel went into great detail with me during our one-on-one conversation about other paranormal activity that's been happening, but this time inside of their house. It goes beyond just seeing shadows and hearing whispers. These are really freaky things that he told me during our exclusive conversation. Take a listen. You mentioned paranormal activity. What exactly did you see?
Well, I was in another room. My brother told me there was a upside down cross, and there was a Jesus section. They ripped Jesus out of it, they threw him across the room, and it was floating upside down.
Are you saying floating in the air?
Yeah, like in the air. It was floating upside down.
What did you do? I mean, did you go and pick it up? Did you knock it down? Like, how?
No, I didn't do nothing. I was just sitting there. I was crazy. I was like, what?
But how did it come back? It's not still floating right now, is it?
No, it came down. So we got closer to it and then it dropped.
It fell to the ground. A crucifix
Yeah,
floating in the air, upside down. The Jesus on the crucifix had been ripped off,
yeah.
and it was floating. And you can say definitively, without lies, that that is what you saw.
Yes. Sure, that's what I saw.
Okay, and what about the Bible? What did you tell me about the
Oh
Bible?
yeah, the Bible. So I was chilling normal. So just a Bible just going like this, flipping the pages. But it was like steady, like it wasn't because of air. It was steady, like somebody was holding it. As soon as I got close to it, it dropped again. It just
This is inside your house, not outdoors.
no, it was
wind,
inside there.
no wind factor, but the page is steadily turning on the Bible.
Yeah.
And you have the same justification for that as well, the
Yeah.
demonic presence?
Yeah, I just get the one for it.
The pages of the Bible were
Yeah.
moving on their own and an actual crucifix hanging upside
Just
down.
a story. Record it.
So then we had a couple priests come over to the house, grab the house, and everything.
Priests are evil.
Are you connecting all these things together, everything you saw in your backyard, to the things you've experienced over these past few months?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, I think so. I still have an explanation of what it is. You know, it's still pretty weird, and I have no clue what it is.
What did the priest say when they actually came to your house?
They're saying that there might be fallen angels, like demons or fallen angels.
It might be fallen angels, they said.
Fallen angels inside your home.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
How does it make you feel about living here still?
But I don't feel good, you know.
So fallen angels could be going to the casinos.
There's a lot of times.
I'm sorry, I had to say that.
But yeah, well, you know, whatever happened on last year May, that was pretty scary, man. I was pretty traumatized and stuff like that.
What does that look like to you? You said you're traumatized. I don't want to make you relive.
Yeah.
What is that like?
It's pretty bad, man. You can't sleep, you know. Doesn't sound like a crybaby, but you know, you cry most of the time when you think about it. You get flashbacks. You know, not a good experience.
With all of the paranormal activity happening inside your house, are you thinking about moving away?
Oh yeah, some I'll move away from this house. Yeah.
Everybody, or just you?
Everybody, I think.
You guys are done with this place.
Yeah.
What do you say to the people who believe that your family just made this whole thing up to try to get attention?
They can believe whatever they want, you know. I'm not doing it for free. If I did it for fame, I would be on YouTube and stuff like that, doing more videos. But I don't care, guys. I just went on TikTok and YouTube, made my story.
And while we certainly have Angel's story to go off of, other people here in this neighborhood have also filled.
He did start a channel though, and he did write, you know, that it was an alien channel, that more videos were going to come. At the beginning, I remember him doing that. It's the government that got to him to tell him to shut up, obviously, because it's possibly, you know, a real alien incident. So the professionals say. In the military, we have Salzman for the Space Force saying they're still grappling with maybe they even paid him refueling math. The Space Force is eyeing innovative in-orbit refueling technology, but a key question lingers: is it worth the cost? They're doing a lot, the military, I'm telling you guys, especially the Space Force. Who is Millennium Space Force? Millennium Space lands a $414 million contract, since they can just make shit money out now, to build missile tracking satellites. The contract from the Space Development Agency is for the fire control on orbit support to the war fighter Foo Fighter program. What? Huh? So Millennium Space Systems, a subsidiary of Boeing, won a $414 million contract from the Space Development Agency to produce specialized satellites aimed at detecting and tracking hypersonic missile threats. The agency announced this on April 30th, 2024. We see here, I mentioned last stream, Space Force opens bidding for classified communication satellites, and Agile Space lands propulsion contract for U.S. Space Force mission. They're doing a lot out there. You got the commercial space station module. Developer Gravitics wins Space Force contract. Meanwhile, China reorganizes its military, impacts likely for space operations. Everyone's going to space. It's the new war is going to be in space, y'all. That's what's happening. The Pentagon eases its cloak of secrecy around space warfare training. We all knew it. Colonel Christopher Fernangel of the Space Force's Space Operations Command. They're directing changes to declassify where it makes sense. Yeah, right. Okay. So they say the Pentagon has partially declassified some space electronic warfare technologies and exercises, a move they're going to have to at one point, a move seen as critical for enhancing U.S. Space Force training and fostering closer collaboration with allied forces. Colonel Christopher Fernangel, director of the Commander's Action Group at U.S. Space Command, credited the Defense Department's Space Policy Office for leading the declassification efforts.
All behind our backs.
Changes to declassify where it makes sense, Fernangel said on April 20th, 2024, on a podcast hosted by Mitchell Institute of Aerospace Studies. The head of Pentagon's Space Policy Office, John Plum, has advocated for updates to the classification guidance to facilitate collaboration with allies and with the private sector. So I hope you understand the seriousness in what is going on. It's important to mention and to take note that every country, China, Russia, the US, and other countries with the Artemis Accord, of course, that joined that act and accord, are going to be keeping a lot of secrecy with what they are doing up there in space. But you understand there's going to be a war. There's a war here on Earth with those countries. There's going to be a war and problems with them in other countries. I think they'd have to get along before trying to do something in space. So you're going to have China on the dark side of the moon that are probably there right now taking over. And you have the US maybe on the lit side of the moon. And where's Russia? Is Russia up there? I can imagine the problematic countries here, foreign adversarial or not, even our own country, US and Canada. I mean, they're corrupt. So what's going on out there in space? Nelson said it. China's going to try to take over the moon, right? So all these secret projects that are being done up there, all this innovation. So he says that the moon does not revolve. The moon does revolve. Now let's head over to see what Nelson, the administrator of NASA, says about having found liquid water, by the way, on the south part of the moon.
Yeah, I fast forwarded the part. You're not going to believe me, but it's fast forward. It took them so long to speak, guys.
Because of the sun that is on it. Let's go over and see what Nelson has to say about the reason why the lander, the rover that landed in the South Pole, tipped over with its antenna pointing away from Earth. Let's hear him.
I ask you to keep your statement hopefully to 5 minutes.
This is on fast forward.
So we can have additional time for questions. You're recognized.
Thank you, and I will keep it to 5 minutes. There's so much to talk about. I can hardly say my name in 5 minutes, but let me just comment on what you've already noted.
He's bringing out truth, this guy, sometimes. I think he tries to deliberately say stuff. Why would he say that the moon doesn't revolve and stuff? And you wait till you hear some of the stuff that he's saying. It's really scary, guys. It's all stuff that we're taught the complete opposite. Then I'm going to bring you on to a NASA website and show you that NASA themselves are saying the opposite, that the moon does revolve. So what the hell is going on?
The position of Morehead State.
When he finishes himself, the administrator turns around and tells him, my 5 minutes is up. He didn't want to talk.
This is exemplary of the can-do attitude in the NASA community, because the Ingenuity lander came down on in the South Pole region of the moon, and apparently one of its legs hit a rock and it tipped over. And so the antenna that is supposed to be pointed at Earth is now pointed in an opposite direction.
It's pointing the dark side because they want to see what China's doing.
Telemetry to know that it was alive. All the experiments on this lander, they couldn't get the data.
They couldn't get the data, but they did, and they didn't tell anyone. They pretended that it was, not in contact with them. And now watch.
Somebody, and we're trying to find out who it is, so we can give special recognition. It may have been somebody at JPL, Congressman Garcia. I just don't know at this point, but I'm going to find out. They figured that Morehead State, who has the antennas, that was communicating, since this was a commercial lander, it had 6 NASA experiments on it. One of which, by the way, was the way that it was able to land. It was a LiDAR, which is like a radar. And as it is circling the moon, the LiDAR on the lander.
Also, I'm going to say it before he says it because you're probably not going to pick it up. Mods, listen up. Never mind the trolls. Listen to the video. Let them write what they want. Now, in this video, Nelson's going to talk about not being able to go to the moon and the reasons why. No, that's not what I wanted to say. Hold on here.
Is on the blink, and they figured out.
He's going to say that we're going to the moon in a different way. We're not going with the government plan. Now you have commercial, private. Don't forget the companies that they're trying not to mention: Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and there's a lot of other ones now that have alien technology, by the way. This is what David Grush and the whistleblowers were saying. We're waiting for that to come out. Probably won't, but partly probably will. And you will see them say 3 to 4 times that they're going to the moon in a different way. Yeah, they're going to land humans this time. Watch.
Figured out quickly to patch through to the NASA experiment, the LiDAR, and they were able to land, but it tipped over because it hit a rock. And some very smart person figures out Morehead State has the ability to communicate commercially, but Morehead State also has the ability to communicate with government missions through the Deep Space Network.
Deep space.
That's our Deep Space Network. And they figured out how to do a patch so that in our big dishes, we could put enough throw weight in the message and could receive as well. And every experiment, both commercial and NASA, all were able to receive the information. And again, it's symbolic of how commercial and government can work together. It's a part of what we're doing. We're going back to the moon, this time with commercial partners and with international partners. The CLIPS program, of which Intuitive Machines was one, is a commercial lander. NASA gives them seed money, and then they go out and build a manifest and get clients to go on their lander.
I wish I had seed money.
It becomes a business enterprise. And oh, by the way, going to the South Pole, we had 6 instruments, NASA instruments on there. So this is symptomatic of the changes in our space program from a half a century ago when we went to the moon, but we went as the government program. We're going in a different way. And a lot of things that you all will ask about and talk about today will have that theme running through it. So I'm within the 5 minutes, Mr. Chairman. I'll just stop there.
We will now proceed under the 5-minute rule with questions for the witness. And I'll begin by recognizing myself.
Take your time. Take your time.
This is fast speed too.
The Biden's
Well,
right.
we're into a new space race, and
Jeez.
this time for a
Bear with us, folks.
presence on the moon as the gateway to the exploration of Mars and beyond. China has made very significant investments in its space program.
Here we go.
Mr. Director, can you provide some specific examples of investments NASA is proposing in your 25 budget request to maintain the U.S. edge over China?
He's reading that for the first time, eh?
Yes, sir. We intend to land humans first on the moon. We're going back to a different part of the moon.
First time
Last
landing
time,
humans.
It was the equatorial part of the moon. We're going to the south pole of the moon for a different reason. We're going back to the moon for a different reason.
There you
We don't
go.
need to go to the moon just to go to the moon. We did that a half century ago.
Right.
We're going to the moon this time to learn, to live, to invent, to create how we can exist in that hostile environment so that we can go to Mars.
To
And
rule
because
the
we're going to
world.
the South Pole, we think that there is water there.
Listen to this.
We know there is ice in the crevices. If this is the moon and this is the South Pole of the moon, the sunlight comes in at an angle. So any kind of indention
What?
is permanently shadowed. The moon doesn't revolve.
What?
And we have seen
What?
in those permanently
Whoa,
shadowed.
whoa, 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 whoa. What? What did he just say?
I'm losing it
The
here.
moon doesn't revolve.
There's ice. So if there's ice, we're sending a couple of those landers, by the way, those commercial landers, the remainder of this year. And they're going to dig and see if there is ice. And if there's ice,
Commercial. So the commercial diggers, the government's not going to want the commercials diggers to be digging. That's like, why do you think they bug Elon Musk so much?
landers, by the way, those commercial landers, the remainder of this year. And they're going to dig.
I've been waiting 8 years
and
for him to say
see
this.
If there is ice. And if there's ice, water, there's hydrogen and oxygen.
Yeah.
Ice. And if there's ice, water, there's hydrogen and oxygen.
Yeah.
Ice. And if there's ice, water, there's hydrogen and oxygen.
Yeah,
At
baby.
a gas station.
Yeah, baby.
And so your question is about a competition with China.
There we go.
China has made extraordinary strides, especially in the last 10 years, but they are very, very secretive.
Read between the lines what he's going to say.
We believe that a lot of their so-called civilian space program is a military program. And I think, in effect, we are in a race. China, for example, has said, and they usually telegraph what they're going to do. Their latest date that they have said that they're going to land is 2030. But that keeps moving up. And so I think it's incumbent on us to get there first and to utilize our research efforts.
There's the war.
Peaceful
Space war.
purposes. We now have upwards of 40 nations that have signed the Artemis Accords, which is a common sense set of declarations of the peaceful uses of outer space. My concern would be is if China got there first and suddenly said,
On the edge of the seat
"Okay,
now.
this is our territory, you stay out." That's not the peaceful uses. There is obviously, you don't want to interfere with each other.
So, he's trying to bring some information out to the table. You can say whatever you guys and gals want, but no matter what you think of Bill Nelson, the administrator of NASA, he seems to want information to come out, and he often tries to tell us things, but between the lines, I see that a lot in all his reports.
But don't go in and declare that this whole territory is suddenly yours. And by the way, anybody that doubts that,
There you go.
look what China's done in the South China Sea with the Spratly Islands.
That's a warning.
Building bases.
So that's a quick answer to you, Mr. Chairman.
There you go.
Thank you. For those accords that brought countries all over the world together, have an important conversation about the future of space.
He's almost done this one here, guys. Don't worry about it.
What role does NASA play in the current geopolitical environment that we're in, particularly as China continues to advance
Don't adjust the volume. It'll adjust itself.
civilian space activities? What's at stake internationally if America loses its edge as the global leader of space exploration?
No, we wouldn't want that.
We're not going to lose that global edge.
We're not going to.
But you got to be realistic that China is really throwing a lot of money at it, and they've got a lot of room in their budget to grow. And their science is good. their engineering is good. And the proof's in the pudding. They now have a space station up there. It's got 3 elements. They usually have 3 taikonauts, which is what they call the Chinese astronauts.
Taiko.
And I think that we just better not let down our guard. Now,
Between the lines, eh?
you know, we have utilized NASA because of the fascination with space around the globe. NASA is usually welcomed in most countries. And we have gladly
Competition.
reached out to other countries with not only goodwill, but a lot of practical things that we can do to help other countries. And it's not just necessarily in space. It may be our assets in space that are looking at the Earth. For example, we can look at a farmer's field and we can tell what the moisture content is there. We can predict floods. We can predict droughts. We can look at a forest and determine if there is disease.
Well, they can do that in the moon too.
But we can't put fires out.
Therefore, that forest is subject to fire because it's diseased trees.
Right.
We've gotten involved with regard to the wildfires, being able to try to head those off by giving the cautionary note to the fire service. So
Yeah, he's starting them.
there's a lot that we are doing. I would hope that the Chinese space program would come to its senses and understand that civilian space is for peaceful uses.
Civilian, hold on
See
here.
demonstrate.
You know, because there's difference. They don't have to mention the terms that are not being told to the public. Like, for example, civilian astronauts. You know, there's a list now, a slew of different types of astronauts, maybe not hundreds of thousands, but you have terrestrial astronauts. The Chinese call them taikonauts, whatnot. Not get it. Astronauts. I mean, the terms that we're giving these humans is what we think. Humans, right? But it's not just humans out there, and the U.S. is working with aliens, and it's been a hell of a long time that they've been doing so. We've heard other defense ministers in other countries, like Hay Nashed from Israel, mention this. Does the moon revolve? You can see here, I quite simply asked that to Google. Of course it does. Yes, the moon takes about 1 month to orbit Earth.
It doesn't mean it does. I'm showing you what the facts are. NASA themselves, you're not gonna tell me that they never told us the moon rotates. Okay, when I started in 2016, that's what everyone was saying, and that's what NASA was saying too. But now we're starting to see some truth coming out, right? That possibly the moon doesn't rotate. On top of it, Bill Nelson, you just missed him. If you missed him, he said that it's in synchronous rotation. Actually, in synchronous rotation, do you know what synchronous means? It's synchronized, simultaneously turning. They say the moon turns slower than Earth. Well, yes, because it takes 27.3 days to make a rotation on its axis, but supposedly it rotates. Why are they saying it doesn't rotate? That's scary stuff.
Mention this. Does the moon revolve? You can see here, I quite simply asked that to Google. Of course it does. Yes, the moon takes about 1 month to orbit Earth. Yes, 27.3 days to complete a revolution, but 29.5 days to change from new moon to new moon. As the moon completes each 27.3 day orbit around Earth, both Earth and the moon are moving around the sun in synchronous rotation, of course. Space.com. The question was asked in 2021, does the moon rotate? This is a post from June 17th, 2021. The moon does rotate, but only very slowly. Observers on Earth might notice that the moon essentially keeps the same side facing our planet as it passes through its orbit. This may lead to the question, does the moon rotate? The answer is, so they say, and everyone else says, except for Nelson now, yes. Though it may seem contrary to what our eyes observe. It's all about the optical illusions, they say. That's their excuse.
So were we right?
NASA themselves say that the moon orbits the Earth once every 27.322 days. It also takes approximately 27 days for the moon to rotate once on its axis. As a result, the moon does not seem to be spinning, but appears to observers from Earth to be keeping almost perfectly still. Scientists call this synchronous rotation, like I mentioned. The side of the moon that perpetually faces Earth is known as the near side, and the opposite or backside or far side. They're trying to get rid of the dark side, right? Sometimes the far side is called the dark side of the moon, but this is inaccurate. That's what they say, which is true. I'd agree with that. When the moon is between the Earth and the sun, well, we call that an eclipse now. During one of the moon phases called the new moon, the backside of the moon is bathed in daylight. Lots of incredible things. And now NASA declared there's water. So this is live with a 14-inch scientific telescope. It's a large telescope. It's got the high definition on it. It's a Celestron telescope that I bought in 2018, the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. It cost $10,000 US. Now they sell it for about 17 to 20,000 as the prices have been going up for everything. This is the south side of the moon. This is Tycho crater. You're going to see right here, Clavius crater, and you're going to see all the water on the southern side of the moon. So the moon is flipped around for you to see the bottom South Pole on top. So we're actually, as we're panning up, we're going down. Near Clavius. Wow. Look at it all. Look at it all. You see the whole thing. NASA declared. Look at the beautiful colors. Near Clavius. Well, I'll tell you, it's not just near Clavius. Clouds. The color. I hope the exposure is descended enough. There we go. Look at that aqua green color. I believe that's water passing over Clavius, going all around Tycho, and all across the moon. As a matter of fact, it even be. There's Clavius. There's the water going over it. The towers are here. I mean, I'm not even zoomed up and you can freaking see it. It's on a flat surface and there's lines going here. It's all connected. This is all the electricity or the power sources. So this is water running over, and you can see like a cloud formation. That's all clouds, I believe, that you can see with, here with the greens, which could be vegetation and again, or water. It's going over top of Clavius crater right there. Close up zoom. Depending on your monitor, you should be seeing some nice greens and blues and aqua colors and white clouded areas miles wide over tops of the craters. There's Tycho right in the center. As they say, a young crater. Tychonauts, they said, for China. I wonder. So let's bring the exposure down. We just saw this. Let's bring the exposure down and not change anything except that exposure being brought down. I don't bring it down that much usually. Black and white, the way NASA shows it, to hide the colors. I don't bring it down this much usually, but I'm going to bring it right down to blacken the edges. And you're going to see this green like vegetation here. You got pinks and blues, which I believe is the atmosphere, the oxygen and hydrogen that's on the moon that I've been declaring since the end of 2016. Now the exposure is taken down. And that's all. There's no saturation. I could take some of it out, the saturation. You'd probably have to when you bring the exposure down. You got to bring down the saturation too, not to get some refraction. Look at that and whatnot. So what do you think of all those colors? So now, quite simply, leaving the exposure like this, but putting it in black and white, you will not see any differences in signs of anything that I've just showed things. And now, as we're going down here, as we're going up to Clavius crater, I want you to notice, watch this. All this region as we're panning up here, you see the clouds moving. There's movement here, all in the green, and you can see it oscillating and flowing. These are all things you have to analyze. I've been analyzing my research for a long time, so I see these things. Down. You got to bring down in saturation too, not to get some refraction. Look at it and whatnot. So what do you think of all those colors? Oscillating clouds. So now, quite simply, leaving the exposure like this, but putting it in black and white, you will not see any differences in signs of anything. So this is how NASA shows it. And now, NASA declared there's water near Clavius. Well, I'll tell you, it's not just near Clavius. Take a look at the color. All hidden. I hope the exposure is descended enough. There we go. Look at that aqua green color. This is how NASA is showing you all the moon. They're showing you white refractive, white noise. All the objects have the same reflectivity. There's no adjustment for the public. It's a lie. It's deliberate. Also, this green moves yearly. It's flowing water. Coming from them, is there a blinding light around them? Top left, that triangle there is one of 6 different events around different celestial objects that I caught. These are all different shapes. Even the square UFO in the center, which that's the one in the center bottom, is a square UFO that takes off in Mare Fecunditatis that I've never even really told you guys that they're bloody squares, because I have shown you cubes that are smoking on the surface and look like they're going very slow in the atmosphere. They don't look like fast moving craft, but these are all craft. Top right is another craft that connected with another craft as they travel quickly sideways across the moon. So people, even though we don't know, even though you guys don't know what this is, you're often telling me, Bruce, this is big technology. It's UFO tech, it's alien tech probably, and it's coming from other not countries, planets. And you know, whatever we dug up here, we're using ancient civilization technology is what I believe, because I believe the ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we are right now. When I was able to get this sent to some professionals to show them exactly what I was getting on the moon, this is a bit of the reply that I got back.
So, yeah.
So I think they were a little overwhelmed. Some of them didn't even reply back to me. They probably blocked me. Maybe some people are starting to get afraid of me. I don't know. I mean, at one point, my family's probably going to turn around and say, you know, what the hell's going on? This is on the moon, guys, and UFOs are changing directions and they're shooting lights out. You see beams of light, whether it's photonic light or not, we can see it happening on the moon. Massive objects on the surface of the moon, high rising off of the surface. Some of them even look like spaceships on the moon's edge.
So let's say that just one more time. We're going to see that spaceship-like object, and I'm going to show you two different parts of the moon phase showing this exact area. And you're going to see how it looks like it rises up off the surface. It towers and then it goes back down because everything's looking like it's clinging to the surface. All these objects that you're looking at that look like little spots and dots are very high off the surface. They're highly elevated off the surface. And you can only see that along the Terminator line. The Terminator line elevates everything that's lying down on the ground.
Ships on the moon's edge. This channel tries to show some of the facts about exactly what is true and what's not true about space. They say different viewpoints of a moving object, both Earth and the moon, gives us an effect of foreshortening. You can see here during different parts of the moon phase and different lighting where it looks like that object is actually lifted.
See that? How come we can't see it on the bottom? It's there.
And going down, we see a tunnel over to the right or pipe.
There it is.
Over on the bottom there, almost impossible to see. We see the different types of elevation. This is sign of foreshortening. So yeah, sometimes we can get some really high.
So with a small telescope, this large object, you're going to see it as big as this, right? Unless you get a Bruce zoom up.
Elevated objects on the side of the moon. And why? Well, I always say it. I film along the Terminator line. The Terminator line, the dark side of the dark line, yes, not dark side, but dark line that we see. It is a dark side of the moon, which is facing Earth. We can see the objects elevated like you see right here. So all that just to show you a foreshortening effect. So this object, whether it's lifted up off the surface, which I know it is, and not lying down, we get the effect that they are lying down. Everything looks flat on the moon. It's also why everyone thinks that the craters all have the same depth. They do not. This is all constructed objects that you can see on the surface. We see smokes and hazes hiding lower regions. So everything here looks flat and mountainous, right? You see the mountains coming up off a flat surface. There is no flat surface on the moon. There's nothing flat about the moon. Very mountainous, and we have descending levels that go down to 10,000 feet on the surface of the moon. Are you wondering why I'm making videos like this if nobody's watching? It's important to get the truth out if one person is watching. Oxygen blue line all around the moon, greenery, and this incredible rectangle. Check it out. Mare Serenitatis. right beside Mons Argeus, where they declared Apollo 17 landed. They did not. They're a bunch of liars. There's the rectangle just off a couple miles to the left of the Apollo landing site. We see incredible colors, greenery,
Clouds.
and
Clouds.
that's right, clouds. What's hiding under the clouds? Bases, constructed objects that have been there for many, many years. If you look at this, it's just off of Copernicus crater to the left of it, and you see hundreds of thousands of chipped away and broken objects that, yes, some of them are symmetrical. Quarries, who knows what they are? Copernicus is right there, and that surface is exactly what everyone wants to see. I want to see the real surface and elevation, and that's what I can show you here on this channel with my large telescope. NASA can do a lot better, but they're not showing the public the truth. I am. Share this with all the crying space channels that are so mad that Bruce is showing the truth. Nobody's shown this. I'm the only one that showed this. That's why I'm hated the most. You can be sure. Look at all the websites that were built just for me, thousands of them. How could I be that important? An amateur medical bus driver that became a school bus driver and decided to work for himself and expose the governments of all of their lies. Look, secret projects, much. We got UFO fleet traveling across the surface of the moon. If you guys and gals want to see more research like this, please take the time to subscribe to the channels. No subscribers here since February. There's nobody on Twitter. I don't know who the 5,000 were that arrived in the first 7 weeks, but there's nobody else. So say to yourself, the reason why I am blocked is because I'm showing all of these things. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And thanks to those of you that did take the time, subscribe to the research channel, because this is real research.
So give an example of
We're almost done here.
I'd like to see that didn't happen last time.
So here's on Vlad TV. Thank you, Vlad TV. Talking to Stephen Greer. Take it with a grain of salt. Someone's cutting their grass. Did Greer just confirm that Coulthard's, Ross Coulthard's from News Nation, so big it can't be moved UFO is indeed in Seoul, South Korea? Check this out. Listen to this short minute or two here, little minute here of our Stephen Greer talking to Vlad TV. Look at his face.
You would like to see that didn't happen last time.
Well, there are specific people that should be subpoenaed. For example, in our disclosure project, whistleblower community, over 750 people. One good example is a man who for 10 years worked in a very secret office in the Pentagon dealing with this issue. And this was in the early 2000s. And he was read into or briefed on 18 of these very sensitive projects, including having gone to a facility out in near Fort Sill, Lawton, Oklahoma, where there was an extraterrestrial vehicle that had been obtained, downed, and that they were studying. And another facility outside Seoul, South Korea, that has a very large extraterrestrial vehicle that's in storage, and a lot of the technologies that were being studied. He knows where these bases are. He knows the compartmented code names, all of that. But this is someone who has been so intimidated in terms of coming forward that he's going to have to be compelled through a subpoena and be protected under federal martial witness protection.
That's why they can't speak,
So
guys.
we have dozens and dozens of people like that.
So what, they built a base around this UFO that's too large to move, to be able to hide it? And is that the building that Ross Coulthard from News Nation spoke about it having dual functions? You know what I'm talking about, right? The UFO that is buried or hidden under a structure, Ross Coulthard says. Where? Could it be this one here? So there's probably more than one. There's probably several of them all around the world. Think of it. It's pretty crazy. Thanks for watching, everyone.
So we're done, everyone. Thanks for watching the video. I guess I'll take this down, stop sharing the screen, go back to my amazing community. So listen, guys, a lot was said in what Bill Nelson, administrator, was saying talking about the moon not revolving. This concerns me a lot, of them coming out saying this. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they will say, not because they don't believe that it's possible it doesn't rotate. We've thought this for years, like a lot of us. But I don't like the fact that they taught everybody, even astronauts, telling us, oh, it rotates all right. It rotates. And now they're saying it doesn't revolve. And he's saying that the sun is coming in on the bottom side in a slit. What the hell is he talking about? What are you talking about? Basically, the dark side of the moon is the side facing Earth. The reason why it gets dark is because it's Earth's shadow as it's going across it. I mean, okay. I don't know. I said that last week. Somebody said I was nuts, and it's scaring me because I'm actually probably believing it. You know, the common sense, all of you tell me all the time, a lot of you, Bruce, the moon doesn't look like it's rotating. It's just sitting there. It's always on the same side, you know? You look back at Caesar, who believed that the universe was revolving around him. Why? Well, because when you sit outside, that's what you see. You see everything revolving around you. There's something not right about that. I don't know. I think for years, I looked at the stars, the way they were crossing over the sky, and I couldn't understand anything anymore. The more I observed the sky, the more I looked at the moon coming up and bobbing around, weaving around in different places. It didn't make any sense. And then you start hearing in the news that they're talking about Earth's core stopping. They're talking about Earth changing on its axis. Earth flipping over is not the same as the sun flipping over. I hope you know that. The sun cycle, they're talking about the 11-year cycle, which is really a 22-year cycle. When it flips over often. Earth doesn't flip over often. Not that they know, but they say about 680,000 years that it takes for Earth to flip. And you could assume when it flips, a lot of devastating things happen. You got landslides, you got, other mountainous regions coming up. And then, look at the New Madrid, the fault line and the earthquakes that lasted for a year. They say, we just went through the eclipse. We're not out of the storm yet. And don't forget, the sun leading up to 2025 is going to be very active. So recap, Bill Nelson says that China is going to try to dominate the dark side. He talked about this, if I'm not mistaken, 4 to 5 months ago. We started seeing Nelson talking about that. Okay. And China, they are pretty advanced. Science-wise, they're advanced. With their funding and money, they're advanced. As a matter of fact, if the U.S. is just shitting out money, making money, inflation, that's not supposed to happen. You can't just produce money. There's a certain amount of money that's supposedly made for the year, get so many billions of dollars, and that has to last for everything. Nope, just go make more to send to Ukraine. So what if China's just printing money? So that's a deal then. So you got China that says, just print out your US bills and send it to us. And the US says you can spend it on us. And, you print out your Chinese money and, send it over and we'll just buy from you. So it's like a deal. The elites that are doing this, it's a very closed in club, secret club that nobody's invited unless you have the proper bloodline. And when he said, people get read into projects. Well, people have gag orders to sign. People have clearances, and they're not allowed to talk about the project. So once you're read into a project, you already signed an order or a paper, a contract that you're not allowed talking about these things. Ross Coulthart knew months ago where that UFO was and that it was in North Korea, but they're not allowed talking about it. So the three-letter associations hold back the information from coming out, and that takes years for the information, or months or weeks for all this to come out, right? You have the fake crop circle makers. Do you know that you have those too? People making fake crop circles that are trying to intimidate and trying to throw off the people that are actually looking and trying to find out about the crop circles. Rachel, Nevada, there's some people there, and some of you might know these people that have YouTube channels and websites. They're called watchdogs, much like me and you, the ones observing the skies, amateur or not, that have exposed several things at Area 51. Area 51, first of all, the whole mass land, you can see the map of that land, the federal land, by the way, that it was stolen, by the way. You know that? That land was stolen. And they have sensors up now that these watchdog and whistleblowers, the guy got arrested, by the way, raided his home because he was telling people that look at the sensors way outside of the lines of Area 51 to track people that are walking around. That's illegal. And that came out. When that came out, well, you see, they took it as a threat. They threatened this guy, one of two guys, I think, if I'm not mistaken. This is all stuff that's happening. So they're definitely very secretive. And he says there is a base in a base, the Groom Lake base inside of Groom Lake base, where they're actually doing, reverse engineering and stuff. The reverse engineering projects exist. There's one in full bloom right now in the States. They admitted it on top of it. And actually, they admitted that a long time ago, there was a project started that they were going to reverse engineer alien spacecraft. They said that because there was no alien spacecraft, that they never minded. But why are they getting funds for it? Even now, right? I'm going to say, like, doggone it. Tim Burchett, representative of Congress from Tennessee, the state of Tennessee, says himself that they're lying and that they wouldn't be funding all these projects if there was nothing going on. So they're definitely hiding the fact that they are retrieving alien spacecraft. 50 plus whistleblowers, guys. This is all going to come out. I believe the moon has a lot to do with it. A couple of weeks ago, they declared there's a gas on the moon that permits people to breathe. This is Biden campaign, a woman, a black lady that said that. Then now he's saying that the moon doesn't revolve. He's saying the sunlight comes in from the bottom side, the southern side of the moon. He's saying that there's ice and water, by the way. He said 4 to 5, 6 times that they're going to the moon in a different way. It's going to be through private and commercial companies and whatnot. It's not going to be a governmental thing, but NASA is governmental, right? You'll say, no, they're not part of the government, but they are. I'm telling you they are. It's all a little club, That's the way I look at it. Hey, Christian. Yeah, well, there's a lot more that are going to start. In Iceland, there was even a few evacuations from one of them. I don't even know if it's still up, the volcano, but it was massive. Didn't kill anyone, thank God. But there's going to be a lot more that don't kill anyone. But eventually, in the States, you guys always telling me, do you know the channel, the Duchishin or Duchins or whatever, talks about the volcanoes in the States, right? Volcanoes all over the States. There's some in Canada too, by the way. Biggest volcano in the world is in Canada. Did you know that? It's sorry. Biggest meteor impact. Little difference. The Hudson River. They say that the Hudson River is a meteor impact, so take that with a grain of salt. All we have is what they tell us. We don't know if it's true or not. Thanks a lot for watching in and listening in, everyone, on a Wednesday. Really appreciate that. We had another good stream. Hey, TET's in the house. Thank you very much. I'm going to scroll all the way down. All the way down. Mr. Sabinator, I want to thank you for being a member for 7 months and for all the gifting out and all the help, the contributions, man. It really helps. Thanks for being here, man. 7 months, bro. And he did it again. I didn't see that. How come it doesn't say that there was any contributions? How come it's not showing me? Thank you very much, Mr. Sabinator. Please thank Sabinator if you were just gifted out a membership. So what does it mean? It means that you're now, you got hundreds of member videos that you can go check out. And, you have cool little icons and alien icons and whatever. And it's really cool. And you got to thank Sabinator because he paid out of his pockets for each of there's no deals for him. He's just gifting out 5 memberships to people. Thanks to everyone that done that. Ruth Kelly, Darla, Pat, there's a whole bunch of people that did that. Leah, Kristen, there's a bunch of people giving on my event. Ben Newson, his daughter's anxious for his name to show up and stuff. He's a patron. I love you guys. And I really appreciate all the amazing support that you're giving to this channel. It's sad that they're trying to block me and shadow ban me. I'm surprised that we don't get subscribers and that they block. It has to grow. If I don't grow, I do need subscribers, because if I don't grow, it's, the ads aren't being seen. There's no revenue or whatnot. So that was deliberate for them to totally block the revenue. But look at the amazing people that I have here. So thank you very much, bro. I cannot thank you enough, sir. Space Force, anyone? What the? Yeah, well, Space Force, and you got Saltzman, the one in charge. They're doing all these things. Don't forget, there's the trans ones in charge. They brought trans people into there too. They're all like, weird now. Space. Not only aliens are there. There's a whole bunch of weird people there. Let me just say, not because trans people are weird. It's because the weird transhumanism bullshit and diversion that they're doing to try to bring. To break up, system. You see what they did in the States? Calling back all the military people that wanted to leave because they were forced to get V'd. Calling them back. Come on back. Hey, come on. Been gone for a year or 2 years and stuff. Come on back. Come on. What a bunch of losers doing that. It is BS. Of course it's BS. You know what it is, Donovan? It's a frontal organization to raise funds. All the other 3-letter associations are also doing it. TETs. Absolutely. Since the 1980s, if not before, ever since the States have been there. You got Haim Eshed, defense minister, retired, of course, because that's when they talk, saying that there's hybrid aliens on Mars. Like, what? I mean, come on. That is a little ridiculous, guys. Think of it. It doesn't make any sense. Guys, there was a lot of, and gals, there was a lot of people here today. I thank you very much. If hopefully some of them are real on the 240, I'm sure. 18, Leah. 18 on Rumble. So my channel has a hard time working on Rumble. We get 3 a week for streams. We went up to 9, then 12, 16. Now we're almost at 20. Sometimes we go to 23. But I like showing how they block the channels. I have to show that. I'm not a hacker and I'm not hacking anyone. So maybe that's what I should learn to do, to become a badass hacker, and to fix the world of all the bad people. Oh, Bruce, you're living a dream. There's already people doing that anyways. People ask, Bruce, you believe in the white hat hackers? Nope, because they'd be here saving the channel. They'd be leaking my channel out everywhere. You'd think. Somebody said it before. It's Sabinator. We're in the Matrix. Yes, we're in the Matrix. Everything's a lie. Everything's a lie. Crypto Beehive. I love how you critique yourself. Lol. I love your channel, man. I thank you. Yes, I have to critique myself because nobody's perfect, especially not me. That's for sure. Thunderbirds. Scratch. Edwin is power. Awesome research. Australia. I thank you very much, Edwin, for that. I appreciate it, man. Air Force was Space Force, but now a separate branch for the U.S. Yes, that's what they do, right? You had CIA, and there's different branches of CIA. CIA does not do what the Federal Bureau of Investigation does, the FBI. FBI and the CIA do not, sound like a Canadian. In Canada, we call them the CIA. No, the CIA does not do like DARPA. DARPA, mind controlling. FBI, mind controlling. CIA, mind controlling. FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act, permitting people, civilians in the U.S. to have classified and unlisted videos on governmental websites and social media platforms released to the public. It costs a little bit of money sometimes. You got the Black Vault doing that. Hopefully other people are doing so, but most likely no one else is doing this. Neil Armstrong didn't look too thrilled, and Buzz is decking everyone. Yes, Dave. He hit somebody. I showed that also here on the channel when he was asked to swear on the Bible that he had gone to the moon. And of course, Buzz Aldrin wasn't very, very happy. Punched out literally a guy, a reporter, which was very funny. Neil Armstrong or Buzz, it was Buzz also that was on Conan O'Brien's show, who said the public did not see what happened on the moon. And he confirmed it. And he said that after Conan O'Brien said, I remember being young and watching you and Buzz Aldrin get off on the moon. He nodded his head 16 times while he was talking. He cut him off and he said the public was not ready to go to the moon. Or, hold on, don't want to put words in his mouth. The public was not ready to see what happened on the moon. They didn't go. And if they went, like His Highness and a lot of people say here, a lot of you say they did go, well, let's just agree to disagree. If they went to the moon, which is absolutely possible, I can't deny that. I have no confirmation. It'd be stupid of me saying that, something like that. I show what I see, right? They would not have done it the way they told the public, because that is not true. So whether you bring Stanley Kubrick into the story or not, we don't have to. Large war going on. Who are the players and their agenda? Exactly, who are the players? That's what's happening. Well, you got 40 countries that joined the Artemis Accord. I guarantee you, if we look at those 40 countries and we go back to the First and Second World War to see which countries were involved in the world wars, I guarantee you every country that's in the Artemis Accord will have been at war all together. One world government, right? It could, Scratch. It could, no matter what size it rotates on. I'll tell you what, buddy, and thanks for being here, man. When I showed the total eclipse, we saw that the moon was coming up from the west, low in the sky, where it sets, not hard. Sun was there, sun was here. The moon usually goes down by the sun, right? With the sun over top, it goes down. Sort of, it's following. If you observe the sky, you'll see the moon is trailing the sun very often, except when it jumps around, right? And there's some days that it's not foggy, but you don't see the sun. Like the nights that it's not foggy or cloudy and you don't see the stars. That happens a lot. A lot of people ask me, Bruce, how come you don't see the stars sometimes? Anyway, different layers of clouds. I'm not going to hide that either. I'm not trying to make up stuff here. But a lot of you and a lot of us said that the moon doesn't rotate, that it's actually stationary. And listen, Bill Nelson, the administrator of NASA, just confirmed that to those of you who think that that's possible, right? I've touched along the lines of right on is highness. I'm always making him run out of fuel. The tricky world. Yes, absolutely. I love his leaks. When Nelson talks about little things like that, the moon doesn't rotate. We're not gonna. Yeah, I mean, China, okay, is going to take over the dark side. I mean, it was titled that, Dark Side taken over by China. There's a war going on. They're having already problems, and 113 on Planet X. Bruce, what the hell are you doing on the X platform? Merci, Alex. Thanks, bro. I'm good. I'm happy for that. I've known that Bruce is onto something truthful and righteous for a while now. Eric James, I thank you very much. It means everything. I'll be honest with you. The comments that you all do, and it's the only trophy I get, guys. It's the only inspiration for me, is that some of you are appreciating the research. So thank you very much. I was lucky enough to be able to see all these things. And I thank God for being able to see the things and being able to show you all with my little technique that's doing pretty good, actually. Go for it. 420 up. Yeah, there you go. 420. How did he know the 420? Yeah. Bob Marley. The fallen ones are the aliens, which are prices of the demons, disembodied Nephilim. Their 4D existence has always mingled with ours. Very interesting. Solar cycles determine how thin the veil gets. I like that one. That says a lot. Those of you that understand, maybe I didn't understand, maybe I just thought myself it meant something else. The solar cycles determine how thin the veil gets. When that energy is radiated, the atmosphere, the chemistry of the atmosphere of Earth is in peril, and it changes. It's sick. That is probably why we're seeing more UFOs here. Maybe when at the end of the sun cycle, 2025, we won't see any more lights. And take into consideration that a lot of people are saying they could be drones. Don't forget that Avi Loeb, professor at Harvard, says that the drones are caused because of CERN. Look into neutrinos that can be here and in other parallel galaxies. I'm not that much of a genius. So just that for me, we'll have plenty to talk about and ponder on. It's just so interesting. I want to thank you all for having stopped by, guys. The only way the moon cannot resolve that I think of is if we don't either. I agree with that. And I'm assuming the sun doesn't revolve around us. I agree with that theory. Interesting theory also. So we must orbit the sun. Caesar was right. possibly. Eclipse guy. I'm the moon guy, the moon man, the moon master. Boy, I love the ones that called me that one. Everyone that called me Moon Master, which was just a kind, I'm not a master. It's just a kind, well, it's just the kind way of being inspirational as a friend to someone saying, hey, you're doing good work and I appreciate it. But the trolls went ballistic and lost it. Do you know that I waited till 2024 to tell people that I was a ufologist? The end of 2023, I started telling people, yeah, I'm a ufologist. I studied 8 years in it before telling people I was a ufologist. I got presented by the Pentagon and the Space Force in 2021 by Garpan Ufology, an association that's in collaboration with the Space Force on the Pentagon's platform and radio and television. And they show my work. When that happened, guys, shadow banned. That was it. That was the last time I was presented, which is okay. What happened when and I'm not comparing myself to any big whistleblowers, guys, but what happened to Luis Elizondo, to Edward Snowden? When you whistleblow, that's it. You can't talk after that. You're gag ordered. You're stuck unless you move to Russia, basically. David Grush can't talk. Luis Elizondo can't talk. Well, no, I won't be able to either. I do believe that my research is affecting national security. I'm showing enough to maybe cause some problems for some of the secret projects, for example, that they're hiding in certain countries. The bad news is Earth's electromagnetic field is quickening. They're crossing over into our dimension. I believe that in theory, partly. I'm very interested in that. It's what we're going to be talking about for the next few years, because that's definitely a possibility. But Earth's electro field is quickening. They're crossing. You know what else is happening, my friends? Earth is slowing down. And if Earth slows down, do you have any idea how that would affect with earthquakes and everything? Earth is slowing down. How is that going to affect the height of the water, the tides and whatnot? The moon, the sun, and Earth. It could be 3 flat discs. Oh, Bruce, the flat Earth is going to love me for this. It could be 3 flat discs that are see-through and only look solid when there's less light around them. But when you get through an eclipse or something, look at I couldn't understand that the moon looked like it was round, because the moon is not round. It made absolutely no sense. Let it be, let it be. The only way we see one side of the moon is because it does rotate and keeps one side toward us. Really? I hear you, but say the only way we see one side of the moon is because it does rotate. That would make perfect sense if Earth rotated too. So when I said really, I was being sarcastic. Yeah, basically that would make sense, and you would have to be right, and I agree with you. But I'm open-minded whether Earth is rotating or not. Guys, I've never thought of it more in the past 3 months about it. Since the eclipse, I'm really thinking of it, like the effect of us. We are traveling all the time. We're never on the ground, right? We're on the ground of a solid planet, but we're not, which is not solid, it's semi-solid, but we're not on the ground. Aerial, vertical vehicles, yeah. It's all these different vehicles. There's vehicles that exist that can go into other dimensions. What we're building and what they built, even if we do have 3 massive ships apparently around Earth with the capability of holding 300 people in each ship. Those ships are protecting Earth, but they can't travel between stars because of the speed. You're blocked when you start traveling at 99.99% the speed of light. You're going to start smashing into walls of energy that's always going to stop. You'll never be able to get to the speed of light. So they quasi project, they bend space and time, they interact, and they manipulate all the neutral particles in the universe that can be easily manipulated. And it's easier said than done. I can't even say the word manipulation. And the thing is that like a neutrino or photon, you change the magnetic field around one of the photons or one of the neutrinos, especially the neutrino. And in another parallel universe, that neutrino can be manipulated. So you can quasi project yourself elsewhere, but you're actually not moving. You're just sort of disappearing and appearing elsewhere. You're quasi projecting yourself. Guys, teleportation. Nuts. It's nuts, nuts, nuts. I don't know. I hear you on that, and I often think of it. I know, like they say, what is written was written. I believe there can be an outcome of a change of an outcome. I also believe that if they're teleporting back into space, don't forget, guys, it's starting to come out now that apparently the gray aliens are us in the future. But you know how many years? They say 53,000 years. I'm reassured by that. When you see those ugly buggers, I wouldn't want us to look like that in a week, right? Look at it the way you want. Transhumanism, yes, but um, uh, the eugenics, right? Manipulation of the DNA, hybrids and everything. That's what they're doing. And you know what I find really silly? That we're making robots. You know why I find it silly? I find it's back engineering humans. We were robots. We were not humans. We were a living being at the beginning. They manipulated us to completely be like robots. And now they're changing it back. Now it's like they're trying to make robots, and then they're trying to put robot parts on us. So which were we first, the egg or not? Were we friggin' a frequency and computer digits and just an idea? Look at it backwards from what they're saying. Take the whole story, put it backwards. Imagine if we were the idea and they invented life after that. Whether you want to say God did it or not, I'm not going to be against that. I don't care about it. I'm just saying we were created. No matter how you want to look at it, you want to call it a dog or a God or whatever created us, we were created. We have to be created. Everything's created. Everything that exists today was created. Nothing has always existed. Nothing. Nothing living has always existed. I don't believe that. They say God has always existed. Well, God has always existed if God is the universe or if God is space and time. There's many ways to look at God. I'm not even get into that. But for me, guys, I just like open-minded, even ridiculous ideals of who God is, where he is, the ideal of how he was created. Don't be insulted when somebody goes against your religion. It's not going against your religion. It's just bringing up their own ideals about things. It's important for you to have an open mind. Look outside of the box. Bring up all these theories. You're not hurting anything. There's nothing wrong with theorizing. Possibly a Dyson sphere. I believe that it's a possibility. But if it's not a Death Star actual built Dyson sphere, it would make sense that they would gut out the moon, and that's what we're seeing, all the dirt that's on the surface. I'm pretty sure that that's another good theory. Revolve around the jobs. Exactly. Well, there is, they say, Dave, but it's on its side. They say they're able still to use the 6 or 7 scientific instruments that are on it. Obviously, they're going to land another one and have it lift up. They couldn't have thought of putting 4 arms on the rover, an arm that is inside of the body, flush with the body, that you have, hooks or something that can come out very simple, go all the way to the ground and just push itself up and extend the arm out. You can grab the side from the other arm. You can have the extensions go fold in and up. You don't have to have a long bar. You could have all the bar extend out and lock. All these rivets, all these, I'm no engineer, just bendable parts that bend up and lock as they go through this trim. I never understood that, I haven't invented a lot of things, but not on paper. That's like the people that stayed stuck in the bottom of the ocean in the submarine. Never understood how come the submarine does not have an arm to push itself away with, on the arm, just cutters to cut anything friggin' away. They say that it goes up by the oxygen, right? Like ballooning themselves up. But, look, they stayed stuck there, the last ones by the Titanic. I don't really think they actually went down. It is, Dave. Really is. And we had a good stream, guys. I hope you liked the video. Some say the spiral of life that brings us into this realm is from the moon, Soul Station. Right, you are. Could be possible. Journey of life. I love that. John Lear thought that it was a soul machine. Hi, it's tidal locked. Yes, locked in synchronous rotation with Earth. When it's the full moon, you get beads of water on your car and the grass is wet while you're making the fire. You know, people put their cigarettes out on the table and all of a sudden it's soaking wet. You go, oh, how come it's so humid? The moon does that. If there's no moon, there would be no rain. That's what I believe. And as a matter of fact, I'm starting to wonder if the rain is not just made now by cloud seeding. The moon is getting further away every year. Like they would actually know that. Measure it. Up 6 centimeters this year. Oh, wow. That's how it is. We resonate at the same frequency as this planet, as does all life, apparently. So how's that going to work if you find yourself living on a moon you don't resonate with? Very well said. So they would manipulate your DNA before sending you, or your DNA is going to be manipulated. Don't forget, they say when you go to space, your DNA is not the same. You're not a human with DNA. You don't have regular human DNA. They had twins. One of them went to space, and when they came back, they checked both their DNA, and the twins' DNA was completely manipulated and different when you travel outside here. So if somebody brings you into a spacecraft, are we automatically manipulated, the DNA? Imagine how many times our DNA was manipulated. We made it 2 hours, my friends. Susan took the words out of my mouth. I said it many a times. Hopefully the elites can F off to the moon and leave us alone. Yeah, that's another scary thing. If you look at the looking glass is apparently a time machine that exists where you can look into the past, and some can manipulate the past just by looking through the looking glass. And it's not the same one that you think. If you're thinking of the one at the Vatican, this is another one that they're talking about. There was more than one that they talked about. And apparently there are different parallel worlds. So the outcome, for example, if you're looking at the crucifixion of Christ, which they actually said is what they did, they're able to see him change what happened and what not. As a matter of fact, maybe Jesus was crucified because somebody went back and changed time. Ever think of that one? Merci, Véronique. Oh, no, Apollo missions were fake now. You're absolutely right, Donovan. Yes, you have the intelligence in Russia, Russian intelligence. They came out with that quite a few months ago and said that Russia, they knew that the Apollo missions were fake. All the images of the Apollo mission are fake. And I'm telling you guys, every single one of my images have a cloud or atmosphere or haze in it. Every single one of them. NASA doesn't show that haze. Well, thank you so much, Leah, for appreciating it, guys. Famous potatoes. Yeah, that's not Mr. Rogers. That's right. I live in a twilight world, according to my ever-loving. Hello, Cesar family and Bruce, moderators. Gomsi, thanks for being here. I saw you on the Spanish channel. I don't know if it was a recent comment or an older comment. I commented back. I'm so sorry for having been so late to comment. Yes, that's what I said, that the moon doesn't rotate. Yeah, which would be Commando Rando 123 would be ridiculous, right? Because they say that it does. NASA says it rotates, but Nelson is sort of saying the opposite of what NASA's saying. I wonder why. Well, maybe they're trying to bring some of the truth out. Yeah, I believe it. It's too bad with the Chinese people being suppressed like that. Guillaume, il dit quoi entre les lignes? Je comprends pas bien l'anglais. Guillaume, j'espère que tu connais ma chaîne OVNI Québec Astronomie. J'ai une chaîne en français, OVNI Québec Astronomie. Tu peux aller le voir. Je mets les vidéos là aussi complètement en français. Et à chaque dimanche, on fait un en direct où je parle des nouvelles, comme que j'ai fait ici dans la vidéo. Ben, t'es plus que le bienvenu. So, real quickly, Guillaume, l'administrateur de la NASA dit que la Lune ne fait pas de rotation. Puis j'étais voir sur le site de la NASA, puis ils disent qu'il fait une rotation. Nelson, l'administrateur, a dit qu'il y a de l'eau et de la glace. Et il dit que s'il y a de l'eau courante sur la Lune, il y a de l'hydrogène et de l'oxygène. Alors, on pourra vivre là. Ça, c'est toutes des choses que j'ai parlé. Hey, thanks everyone so much. Oh, that is true. Southwest, SW, you are right about that. Yep. He's been here for a long time. Everyone with the wrenches have always been here for a long time. And a lot of people sometimes lose touch, lose contact with the shit going on in everyone's lives. Scratch been a supporter of the channel. I hope you're not talking about me. I know you're not. Yeah, he was a professional liar. In Kakan. Great Pink Floyd song, Dark Side of the Moon. Oh, yes, and you know it. He who controls the weather controls the world. Name that U.S. President. Biden. Joe Biden. And it would have been funny if we cut to Joe Biden turning around with the ice cream truck coming. He walks away, leaves off. Activating lurk mode. Time to work. Have fun, everyone. I am off to TTs. Thanks for being here. If I subscribe to NASA, they will see I'm recording UFOs flying around the space station long. Might fall into my house. Yeah, like the one in Florida where a piece of the space station went through the friggin' roof and floor of someone's house. Yeah, debris much. And the pyramids were built for tombs. Get out of here. Yeah, has nothing to do with tombs, actually. As a matter of fact, if you look up, has any sarcophage or body ever been found in a tomb, you will see that they say no. And then there's also information about the Tutankhamun having been taken out. I have an old book here that says Napoleon took out all the riches of Tutankhamun, left during the war with Spain or whatever, crossed over, went to Egypt to be able, with a team, to pull out stuff. Ladies and gents, thank you so very much for being here. Thank you, Sabinator, for gifting out the memberships, my friend. And for everyone that's here, all the beautiful contributions that you've all done. If you're here, it's a beautiful contribution. I'll talk to you all very, very soon. I'll see you all on the flip side. Thank you, Twitter. Thank you, Rumble. And thanks to those who subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. You whack a troll when you do. Gets them pissed off. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.